I just came in from helping the family wrangle the turkeys because we're processing turkeys tomorrow. It's starting to get dark, so I'm thinking about dinner prep, right? And I knew that I had leftover pancake batter from this morning when I whipped up some pancakes. I had made extra, so here's my batter, okay? And earlier today, I had run over to our farm store and got out a package of ground lamb that we had made and seasoned ourselves. So my father-in-law Rick did that. And I wanted to try a package of it, see how it tastes, and it's absolutely delicious. So I always throw a package of sausage, pork sausage, or even ground pork in with any ground meat recipe that I make because it just adds such a good flavor. But I was tasting the lamb by itself and it is phenomenal. But I like the extra fat and oils from the pork as well. So it just adds an abundance of flavor. Anyway, so here's my here's my ground meat. And I threw in a block of frozen corn. So I'm letting that warm up here on the stove. And what I'm doing with the batter is just making almost like a dinner bake. So it's mainly a leftover meal made new. All right, so I'm going to the refrigerator and I'm thinking, okay, what am I gonna throw in this? So I've got corn. I kind of want this stew type of meal, but in a bake. So I'm gonna do it in that skillet that I cooked the hamburger, or the lamb burger and the pork in. And I'm thinking, oh, maybe this should have some potatoes. Well, we had some baked potatoes from a couple nights ago. So I've got my baked potatoes in here, just 2 will be plenty for the dinner. They're already cooked, so I just need to chop them up. And I have some tomatoes actually that I purchased at an auction last weekend. So we're gonna chop those up and use those. And I think we're good. I've got the meat, I've got corn, I've got potatoes. I could throw some green chilies in there. I'm not sure I will because we had green chilies last night for dinner. I'll save those maybe for a breakfast deal. All right, I have everything in this that I want. I'll flip the camera on here in a minute. I've got my batter made, and I was a little concerned at first because this morning when I mixed up this batter, of course, for pancakes, I'm gonna add a little vanilla. I added a little almond and some pumpkin spice, and now I'm using it for a savory supper dish. So honestly, I just put my onion powder in here. I threw in some garlic powder, a little cumin, and peppers, white pepper. I love white pepper, especially with pork and lamb, and then some black pepper. And I never measure anything, you guys. I just dash it in, and because I feel my food, what's the right amount. And I think there was enough. So I honestly just dip my finger in stuff and taste it. I can taste a little bit of the pumpkin spice, but it's not overpowering. The onion is phenomenal in there. I think it's gonna be great. Yes, I did add raw eggs, but I am not worried about that at all because they are pastured eggs, and I just don't worry about, you know, the salmonella or whatever. So just taste that, make sure it's the flavor you want, and we're gonna come back over here and pour it in. So we're gonna stir this up, and then I will add the batter. Okay, stop it for a minute. Okay, so I feel like with the potatoes in there, I'm gonna add a little bit more salt, and the tomatoes and the corn, even though the sausage adds some salt, we want a little bit more. And we just use Redmond salt because it's more of a mild salt. It's not as strong, but it's definitely a healthier, better for you salt. So that's looking good and uniform. Everything's mixed in. Set that to the side for a second there. And I am right-handed, so we'll see how this goes. But I'm just gonna pour that in. This is gonna take a while to cook. This is probably a lot. I should have divided it up into some pie pans. And but we'll just see how long it takes. That's okay. I can guarantee my kids are gonna eat it. We've got that in there, and I'm just gonna pour it over and kind of mix it, not like stir it thoroughly, but just let that batter seep down through. When I hear casserole, it means cheese. I love cheese. So we're definitely going to top this off with some cheese and make sure we've got this mixed in fairly well. And feel with your spatula, make sure it's uniform. So this is going to rise just a little bit. So we want to give it some room to bake and leap up there. And I love this skillet so much. Okay, so we're gonna throw some cheese on there. And then more cheese. Pop it in the oven, spread that cheese out, and pop it in the oven for, it's probably gonna take a good 45 to 50 minutes in there, and we're done.